Before starting video, we found your special interest in rules stories. So we started a new channel, Creepypasta Rules. Do check out. Help us to reach 1K subscribes. r/NoSleep. Posted by you/Philipxander. I have no rules to follow in my night security job and I'm afraid of knowing why. Part 1. It all started out like any other day. However, I now wish it had turned up as one too. Had just finished my university exams and so I started looking for a night job to make quick money now that I only had to finish up my graduation project. Not a big deal since it was basically already complete cause I had worked on it during the year. I will not disclose any more information about my status or where do I live to avoid you coming in contact with this kind of job. Just in case I don't survive the night and they need to replace me. I'm hella scared about even thinking about it, but I really don't know what to do. I should have known it was too good to be true. Earlier this morning I noticed a copy of the local newspaper near my mailbox. I should have known this was a red flag already, because I never found newspapers near my mailbox, just brochures or thin promotional magazines. I'm also not American so this makes things extremely stranger, but I just thought the mailman had been nice. I realized just now it was stupid thinking. Thought it would do no harm to pick it up and read it. I was wrong. And it's all my fault. I looked immediately at the advert section for jobs and found one interesting entry. Security supervisor, looking for a young male employee to fill in the security supervisor role for night shifts at our company. 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., good pay, email us if interested for further informations. Censoring their email for safety reasons, I bet I'm in enough trouble already for this post. It was concise. Sharp. Right to the point. I was taking a good pay. I am kind of a believer in God and I think the paranormal is just unexplained science, but I am not afraid of the dark or superstitious so a night job was no problem for me. My small town has never been scary or anything save for the few drug addicts that got arrested in the park at night a few years ago. I did not know the name of the company but figured if it was advertised on the local newspaper it couldn't be much further away. Maybe the nearby village or near the bigger town roughly 7 km from here. The security management team answered to my email almost immediately, hiring me on the spot and offering €200. Can you believe it? No way I would turn down a job with that kind of pay, let alone a young adult. Why was I so greedy? I guess it's human nature to always strive for more. On the other hand, I asked why the pay was so high and if I had to be worried about thefts or criminal intrusion or if I had to comply to specific tasks. Worry not. Just use your brain. You told us you're graduating in engineering. We count on your ability to improvise. Another huge red flag I missed. I'm so scared, guys. I thought they were lightheartedly making fun of me and that the pay was so high simply because the warehouse is so isolated that no one would like to do this job. I did not use my brain fully. I am a bit naive sometimes and I really hope this doesn't end up costing my life. Going back to the story, I parked my car and entered this extremely clean and well-kept warehouse. I found myself in front of an unending darkness. I guess they were saving up on electricity. It was so dark that I had to use the flashlight on my phone to almost no avail as it could only light the floor in front of me. Hello? Is there anyone here? I'm the new security guard. My words echoed in the darkness. Why is it so dark here, I thought. It shouldn't have been possible as my eyes still hadn't accustomed to the dark. Suddenly I saw a light irradiating from a few meters away. How could not have noticed before? I saw an office room and the door was open. I thought they maybe had left it open for me so I entered, locking the office door behind me. Instinctively, I was starting to get a little nervous. I found myself into a cozy room with 5 security cameras, a computer, a desk and a little couch. I sat on the comfortable office chair in front of the computer, where I found a note attached to it with a block note and a pencil. Yeah, now I'll find some set of strange rules to follow like I always read on NoSleep, I chuckled. I will never make fun of the universe ever again. Because what I found was way worse. The note was written with a red marker. Do not fall asleep. Write down the rules. Wear the uniform. Handgun is in the closet. I guess they really were into shady business. Drug dealing? What had I involved me in? I brushed it all off and wore the uniform in the closet. It fitted me perfectly. I also loaded the handgun I found and put it in my holster. I was kind of experienced with guns due to hours of playing Call of Duty, so at least I knew how to load one and keep the safety off, but I never shot anything before. This is illegal as F. I thought. For sure. Unregistered handguns and no legal carry permit. Then I realized. Whatever was out there, they needed me armed and couldn't care for the law. I stared at the cameras a little frightened. 4 showed the outside of the warehouse while one was completely black. Not broken. It was just the inside of the warehouse. I suddenly started feeling a bit cold. And I immediately picked up my phone to write this. Through the glass of the door of this security office I noticed a light flickering, but it isn't showing up in the camera. It's just 10:10 p.m. and a realization hit me. This time, I'm the first who has to write the rules. First of all, I want to thank you guys for your support because I am really starting to break down. In the previous post I said I was not afraid of the dark. Well, now I am. I can't stop thinking that there is no story on Reddit about someone who writes the rules first. I really just hope they're not all too dead to tell their story. I always asked myself, how do they know which rules to stick by and if they go by trial and error? I didn't think it would be my job to find out. Anyway, a few hours have passed since I last wrote this and connection on my phone is waning, so I don't know when this will get posted. I will use /NoSleep to write everything I discovered just in case I go missing. Aside from the flickering light in the distance, nothing else happened in the first hour. Then I noticed through the glass of the office door that the light was nearing dangerously. I didn't know what to think. So I did the most obvious thing I saw doing in told experiences. I tried playing dead and hide under the desk. I feel like it works since I am still alive and writing this. The light has completed disappear. I guess the first rule is, if you see a light flickering nearby, hide under the desk and don't look at it. Nothing too scary for now. Then I noticed something far more sinister. The security cameras started emitting static sounds before showing what surely was not the outside of the warehouse anymore. There were a subway, a morgue, some train tracks, and I could see in the last camera the office from which I'm writing. I already tell you I had zero intention of coming out of this office. But I was forced to. On the camera something was on the ceiling of the room crawling on all four and it was too dark to be described. It was just pure nothingness. A creature of some kind. When I rapidly stared at the ceiling, nothing was there. It showed up only on the camera. My mind went blank. Don't blame for what I did after what I saw next. In the camera the guy that was me started watching towards me, sending me a bone-chilling shiver down my spine. The creature then suddenly launched itself on top of me on camera and splatted on the floor, where it began fusing disgustingly with that fake version of myself. It opened my mouth with its nightmarish claws and inserted itself inside, completely ravaging my body to accommodate itself. As soon as I watched that I started feeling cold again, just like with the flickering lights before. I floored it. I couldn't stand the idea any of that could have been real. This is too elaborate to just be a prank. I opened the office door and ran, handgun in my hand. As I suspected, in the total dark, the door from which I entered was nowhere to be seen, even though it was supposed to be just a few meters away from this little office inside the warehouse. I started running without looking back until I saw another light. The office was in the distance, and this time I could clearly see some dark shadow coming out of it. I prayed to God. And I swear I saw my life flashing out before me. I ran to the light that I saw in the shadow, and even though it sounds impossible, it was a street lamp. Alone. In a warehouse. I'm now pretty certain this warehouse is not what it was advertised to be. Not that I had any trace of doubt left as soon as I saw the note. I touched the cold metal of the street lamp and stood there in the silence. Then something hit me. I waited for 1 minute. 2 minutes. 5 minutes. Whatever was supposedly following me should have already caught me by this time. I had made a terrible mistake. What I was shown in that camera was not real indeed. Whatever inhabits this place can't be keen on light for sure. I was lured out. It was probably waiting for me in the dark. Stupid me. I decided I had to make a run for it. But this time, I had to use my flashlight and not run towards the office carelessly. As I started moving, swinging my flashlight on and off, I heard the most terrifying shriek I ever heard in existence behind me. It was the mix of a dying woman and an angry bear. A banshee and the cry of a baby. Forgive these analogies, but is indescribable. I managed to enter the office and close the door behind me before I saw the light that appeared before fall down and heard the sound of shattering glass. The lamp street had been taken down by whatever was out there. So I guess we have another rule for now. Whatever happens in the black camera, don't look at it and cover the camera. Because that's what I did next. Put my jacket on the camera. I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going out there again. I curiously started looking at the other cameras. In what looked like a morgue, another guy with a security uniform like mine was running through a corridor while followed by a man in a lab coat. But it was the subway station that disturbed me the most. I saw another guy shoot a kid that came out from a train. I backed off immediately. I do not know what these cameras represent. This is all for now, guys. But I have to confess you something. Since I have come back to the office booth, I feel like we've been moving.